Okay, so I'm logging in as root user again. Okay, the command which you saw just now is docker images. Okay, so it does not show anything because I have not downloaded any image till now. Okay, now I was telling you how to pull an image. Okay, so to pull an image, you just need to know the name of the image. Okay, let's say I want to pull Ubuntu image. Okay, what will I do? I'll do a docker pull. Okay, I can also search from here. Okay, the command is docker search Ubuntu. Okay, so this will search all the things available in my Docker hub. So this refers to the Docker hub only. It takes all the image names from the Docker hub only. It also says official and whatever we saw on the Docker hub. So this is just a command to, if you want to see those things. Okay, I can search any image and I can get the name of the images. Okay, so if I want to pull this image, I'll put just put docker pull Ubuntu. If I want to pull this image, I'll just say docker pull open library. If I want to pull any other image, I'll just type that name. That's it. Okay, so for now, I'm just pulling Ubuntu image. Okay, so the command is docker pull Ubuntu. Okay, see, it is pulling my Ubuntu image. Okay, and it says downloaded newer image for the latest Ubuntu. Okay, so it has pulled the latest image. So again, if I do docker images, I will see this is my image. This is my image. Okay, Ubuntu, and it has a tag. It has an image ID. Every image will be having an image ID. It'll have a size. Look at the size. Size is 77.8 MB. Okay, so this is so lightweight. Okay, and in the Ubuntu operating system, you will see that will have much higher size than this. Okay, so this does not contain the whole operating system. It is just containing some of the files. Okay, so docker images is the command to see all the images in your system. Okay, now uh, there is a command called docker ps. Okay, yeah, we saw three commands till now. Okay, docker images, docker pull, docker search. Okay, these three commands that we saw. Fourth command is docker ps, just to check what is the process state. Ps is nothing but a process state. Okay, process ps is the same command that we use in our to check the number to check the processes in our system. Okay, so docker also has the same command, so that is docker ps. Okay, docker ps lists what are the containers running right now. So with docker images, we'll just list the images that your system is having. But docker ps will list the containers which are running. Okay, so right now there is no container that is running, or even I don't have any containers. Okay, so docker ps will check only the containers that are running right now. Okay, if I do docker ps minus a, docker ps minus a will list all the containers, even the containers that are not running. Okay, so right now I do not have any container, so docker ps minus a does not show anything. Okay, clear? Okay, now how to run a container. Let's say I already have an image. Okay, I have downloaded an image using docker pull. Okay, docker pull downloaded Ubuntu image. Okay, now I want to run a container. Okay, I want to run a container. What is the command to run it? It's docker run hyphen it. Okay, it means hyphen I and t. These are two things. Okay, hyphen I and t. I is for interactive, t is for terminal. Okay, so if I run this Ubuntu image, it will create a container and the container will open in the terminal. Okay, there you can type any command. Okay, you can start using it. It will log into your terminal. Okay, we'll see that how it works. Okay, then uh, uh, hyphen it, and we can put the name. We can give it a name. If we do not give the name, it will take by default. Okay, let's show you without the name. Okay, then docker run it, name of the image. My name of the image is Ubuntu. Okay, and I know that this is a uh, Ubuntu OS, correct? So now what can I do? and I have chosen IT. IT means interactive and T means terminal. So a terminal will open. So I can write here any command. Okay, let's say if that after I run this image, it will become create a container and it will open a terminal. Okay, I can write bin bash. Okay, so if I run this, you see, I went inside the container started running. Okay, and now what you see here is root at the rate this is my container ID. Okay, so this is just running my container. Okay, now I can put any command here. I can do ls, the normal, this is Ubuntu, right? So I can do ls. So this is giving me things inside my container right now. Okay, so these are the things inside my container. Okay, so this is like a normal operating system for you now. This is like a normal virtual machine. You can do whatever you want. You want to install applications. You can do yum install httpd -y. Okay, yum is not installed. Okay, means whatever you can do. Create a file. You can touch abc.txt. So whatever you are doing here, you are doing inside the container, because when you ran this when you ran this command, when you ran this command, what was the command? Docker run it ubuntu. Ubuntu is the name of the image. So now you have run a container from that image. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Now you can do whatever you want here, whatever xyz you things you want to do, you
So,
can do. This is like a separate isolated virtual container inside a virtual machine.
so from Ubuntu, you have uh, downloaded some OS libraries, is it?
I have not
Plus,
downloaded anything. I downloaded the image from Docker Hub. That's it.
okay.
I downloaded the image from Docker Hub. It was having everything. That image was having all the files. Okay, and I that image got downloaded, and I ran that image as a container. That's it. And that container is like my virtual machine inside my virtual machine. You can assume. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
and my inside my
So,
Ubuntu
so
machine.
you have basically downloaded some lightweight OS.
Correct. I have downloaded a lightweight OS. I have downloaded a lightweight image. Okay, that image is having an OS. So my host
Yeah,
operating system
image.
is,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
my host operating system
Image.
is Amazon Linux. My host operating system is Amazon Linux. But on the Amazon Linux, I have downloaded Ubuntu. See,
Yeah,
if I do,
lightweight Ubuntu.
hmm,
Uh,
and if I do
is
exit,
it? It is not full Ubuntu, right? I mean, full.
this is not full
It is
Ubuntu.
not a
This is
full
not a full,
Ubuntu.
yeah, this image does not contain a full operating system. Okay. It,
Okay.
it is just containing some part of it. Okay. Rest everything it is using from my host. From my host.
Mm.
What is my host? My host is Amazon Linux. Okay. Here, yeah, here I can show you. If I do uname -a, so here it is, what is it saying? It is saying Linux. Uh, okay, it is, no, I have to go to the OS release. I guess there is cat etc OS hyphen release. Yeah, see what it is giving. It is giving Ubuntu. See, pretty name Ubuntu. This is my OS
Okay.
release. ID
So,
Debian. Hmm.
Mhm. Okay, my question was without installing an application, how do you know how much of I OS you require?
I don't care.
Because you have
Why should
already
I care
installed
about
the
that?
lightweight, OS, that is the libraries and the binaries.
Hmm.
Now, on top of it, you're going to install an application, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So the application require some part of the OS.
Hmm.
So
Some part of
since you have
OS.
already installed
Hmm.
Ubuntu, how does an application, I mean, how do we know how much of binaries and libraries an application will require? I think.
We don't need that. Why do we care? We don't
Okay.
have to care about that. We don't have to care about that.
Okay.
That image has everything. If I downloaded it, that is the official image, right? I downloaded the official image. I don't care what is inside it. That is like a software. I don't care what are the files inside it. I'll just download that image and I'll start working on it.
Okay.
Okay. See, so on this image, yeah. So I'm on this image. I did a uname minus a. Sorry, I just to check the release. I went into I did cat etc os release. So it is giving me that it is an Ubuntu release. Okay. So this means I'm in Ubuntu 22.04 right now. Okay. So right now I'm firing these commands from my container only. So I created a file abc.txt. This is inside my container only. Okay. Okay. So now how to stop? If I exit, that will stop my container. Okay. Right now, if I see from any other terminal, if I do a duplicate session, I have not done an exit from there. Okay. I'm just showing you in a duplicate session. So this is my duplicate session user. Oh, sorry. EC2 hyphen user sudo su. Okay. If I do a docker ps hyphen a, so ps hyphen a gives me list status of all the containers. So see, it is saying that there is a container which is running right now. It had been created 6 minutes and it is up since 6 minutes. Okay, what are the ports that are exposed? No ports that are exposed right now. Okay, because I have not exposed any ports. Okay, names. So if we have not specified the name, so it gave a default name, heuristic grinder. It gives some funny names by default, whatever names it gives to the container, but we have not installed it. And what is the command that we ran? We ran /bin/bash in the interactive mode. Okay, what was the image? That image was Ubuntu. Okay, it gives everything. Clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now if I do exit, okay, now if I do ps, only ps, I did a ps minus 8 was listing me everything, right? If I do ps, it will just list me the running containers. Okay, so ps, so right now there is only one container that is running. So ps will list only the running containers. Okay, and let me now stop that, exit that container. If I do exit, it will stop the container. Okay, I did a exit. I came back to uh, my host. Okay, I came back to my host. Okay, now if I do docker ps again, see, it is not listing anything. It is not showing anything because no containers are running right now. I did a exit. If I do docker ps hyphen a, okay, it says this is the container and this has been exited 21 seconds ago. Okay, it was created 17 minutes ago and it has been exited 21 seconds ago. Got it? Clear?
Yeah.
And again I can start it. It's not like that I cannot start it. Again I can start it because that image is already there in my system, right? That image is already there in my system. I'll just do docker. Okay, let's create a new image. Okay, let's create a new image. I'll create a new image called Jenkins. Let's pull this Jenkins image now. I don't know what is happening with my internet connection today. Just wait a second, I'm switching to my new Wi-Fi. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, session got restarted. Okay, now what are the images right now in my system? I can check by Docker images. So there is just one image. Let me pull some other image. Okay, or if I directly run a command, okay, if I directly run any container, let's say I want to run a Jenkins container, so it will automatically download Jenkins. It will pull that Jenkins image from Docker Hub and it will run it. Okay, so let's say I am doing mm, Docker. I'll not do a Docker pull. Okay, I'll just run Jenkins, let's say. Okay, docker run hyphen it. Okay, this time I'm giving the name. Okay, this time let's download CentOS. Okay, let's download CentOS. So let's name my image as Puneet. Okay, I can give whatever image name I want. Needs image, let's say. Okay, and this is my name of my container. Okay, I want to run a container. Okay, so docker run in interactive mode, hyphen hyphen the name of the container. Okay, the container that will spin up, that will have a name. So earlier it was taking a default name, right? So right now, if I specify hyphen name, I can change the name to puneet.image underscore image. Okay, and what is the image using which I want to create in a container? Let's say CentOS. Okay, and I'll put slash bin slash bash. So see, CentOS is not there. I did not do a docker pull, but I did a docker run on the CentOS image, and now it is pulling the CentOS image. Okay, it pulled the CentOS image and I ran it. Okay, so now I am inside my CentOS image now. Okay, so if I try to do that, if I now try to see what are the containers running right now. Oh, yeah, if I do docker images, so I see two images right now, Ubuntu and CentOS. For Ubuntu, I did a explicit pull. I pulled it explicitly, but CentOS I did not pull explicitly. I just ran the CentOS image. What did that run command do? Run command first downloaded the CentOS image, and then it started running it as a container. Okay. Now if I do docker ps, so docker ps only shows the running container. So right now only CentOS image is running. Okay, CentOS container is running. Okay, and what is the name of the container? Puneet underscore image. I should have named it Puneet underscore container, but ignore. Okay, this is the name of my container. Okay, and I'm not able to see the container which I have already stopped, which I have exited. The Ubuntu container which I created earlier, I have that is in a stopped state. Okay, so how can I see it? I can see it by docker ps hyphen a. Docker ps hyphen a will list all the containers, either even the ones which are stopped. So this even the ones which are stopped, or even the ones which are started. Okay, the name of this container was heuristic grinder, and name of this container is this. I can even start this. I can start it. Command to start it is docker start name of the container. So see, it started it. If you write docker start name of the container, it will output you the name of the container itself. Okay, this signifies that it has already started. Now if I do docker ps hyphen a, I can see both these containers running up 2 minutes ago, up 15 seconds ago. Clear? Clear?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. There is other command to go inside the container. Okay. Uh, if I want to go inside the container, so the command is, so if I ran in interactive mode, I already was there in the container, right? If I did hyphen it and slash bin slash bash, I was inside the container already. But now I see these two containers are running and I want to go inside any container. So what is the command for that? The command is docker attach name of my container. Let's say I want to go inside this container. See, I'm inside this container right now. Use the container ID 9F37ACD, whatever. This is 9F37ACD, whatever. Okay, so I'm inside this container right now. Clear?
Yes.
These are
Okay.
easy commands, right? These are very easy commands. Okay. Uh, there will be similar command to stop the container. Let's say I want to Okay, let's say I want to exit it from here. Okay, and I do docker ps -a again, so it is exited. This command, this container is not running right now. Again, I will, let's say I want to stop this Ubuntu. Ubuntu is running, right? Up. It's saying it is up about a minute ago. So this means Ubuntu is running. So if I want to stop it, I'll write docker stop, name of my container, heuristic grinder. So it stopped it. Okay. So if I do docker ps -a again, it says exited. This exited 134 seconds ago. Okay, so both these containers are in stopped state right now. Okay. Clear?
Yes. Yes.
Mhm. Okay, now if I want to see the difference, okay, so I have this Ubuntu as a base image, right? Ubuntu was my base image. Now uh, I can see the difference between the base image and the container which I have. Okay, let's say this Ubuntu was my base image. Okay, Ubuntu was my, I downloaded Ubuntu and I ran this Ubuntu image as a container. Now this container is running. Okay, I did some changes in it. I created a file. Remember, I created abc.txt. Now I want to see that what are the changes that have happened since I downloaded it. Okay, so the command is docker diff name of the container. Okay, see, it says /a. It says a means addition. Okay, so I added abc.txt. Okay, it says c means changed. Okay, so it might have changed something in the root. Okay, what did it change? It added some bash history, because if I do something on Linux machine, it creates history, right? So it added this as well. So it will give you what are the differences that have happened between the base thing when you what you downloaded and what is the status of the container right now. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Can we see the host OS as well? I mean, on this, can we using the commands? What host OS is there?
Host OS from like inside the container.
No. On Linux, we installed Ubuntu, right?
Hmm.
So can
Yeah,
we
that we
see the
saw, right?
details of that?
Yeah, we saw
Okay.
that when we went inside the release OS hyphen release. That's what we saw, right?
Okay.
Okay. Now, uh, so I said we can create a image from a container, right? So see, this is my base image. Ubuntu was my base image. On that base image, I added a file abc. I added a file called abc.txt. Okay, so I can create an image from this container. Okay, so the command for that image is, so this is the same. You can imagine the same way. You created an EC2 instance from an AMI. Okay, uh, and on that EC2 instance, you installed some softwares. You installed your application. You did some changes, and then again you created an AMI. Okay, now the new AMI that you have created will have all those things, right? The changes that you did. Similar thing here. So I have this container already in there. Okay, I created a file called abc.txt inside this container. Okay, now I want to create an image from this container. So the command for that is docker commit name of my container. Okay, and the name of the image, the destination, like the name of the image I want to create. Let's say I call it uh, my image. I'll call it. Okay, so this is the output you will say. You will see SHA 256. So So this has created an image. So now if I do Docker images, so I would see three images. One is CentOS, one is Ubuntu, and one is my image, which I just created. Okay, it says created 11 seconds ago. I just created it. Okay, now if I have created this image, now I can run a container from this image the same way. Correct. It's nothing but an image only, right? This image I have created, so I can run a container from it. So we can run a container. So running a container, what is the command to run a container? Docker run the same command, it hyphen name. Okay, I'll name the container as my new container. Okay, and this container is running from which image? My image, and slash bin slash bash. So I'm inside my new container right now. Okay, if I do ls hyphen lstr, so see it is giving me abc.txt. Got it? Clear?
Okay.
So now if I do a docker ps hyphen a here, you will see docker ps hyphen a. You'll see that this is my one container that is running, and the name of the container is my new container, and the base image, it has been created using the image my image. Clear? Clear, right? Any questions?
Nothing, sorry.
It's clear, right? It's easy, right? Prakash, any questions?
Yeah.
No, no, I said clear.
Okay, so now let's see the Docker file. Okay, so I told you there is a file, we create a file called a Docker file. The name of the file is this only, Docker file with D capital. Okay, you can create a Docker file, you can write various commands inside it. So in the commands, you can specify what is the base image, what is the command that you want to run, okay, etc. etc. Whatever XYZ, you want to create a file, let's say, inside the container. Okay, so whatever XYZ you think you write in that, and you can build an image from it. Okay, and whatever image you are building it using Docker file, that image will have all the things that you were specified in the Docker file, and when you run that image, it will, the container that will spin up will have everything. Okay, so let's create Docker file. So I'll do a vi Docker file. Okay, vi Docker file. So this has to be with the same name, with this name only. Okay, D capital with D capital. Okay, here I have to write something. Okay, now there are some keywords. Okay, this has to have some keywords. Okay, so that Docker recognizes it. Okay, so we say it from it. Every Docker file starts with from. Okay, from tells you the base image. Okay, let's say from Ubuntu. Okay, so this means my base image is Ubuntu. Okay, and there's a keyword called run. Okay, run is also a keyword. So we'll see keywords one by one. Okay, so first keyword is from. From means my base image. From which base image I want to create an image. Then run. Run means what command do I have to run after I log into that? What command I have to run? Okay, let's say I write echo. This is Ubuntu, right? I can do echo. Correct. I do echo, and I can type whatever I want here. Hello from the container. Okay. Okay, I'll do echo and I'll store this inside a file. Let's create a file. This thing comes again. Okay, I'll store this thing inside a file, let's say. So the idea is to show I can do whatever command I can write. I can write whatever I want here. tmp my file. Let's say I'm creating a file called myfile.txt. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm creating an image from base image Ubuntu. Okay, and when this container spins up, uh, a file will get created with the name myfile.txt inside tmp folder, and this content will be copied to the file. Okay, so I have this Docker file. Okay, now I save it. I save this Docker file. Okay, now I have to create an image from this Docker file. Okay, Docker file is just a file. Okay, from this file, I can create an image. What is the command to create an image? Docker build -t. Okay, and what is the name of my image? I'll call it uh, Sunday image, whatever XYZ, whatever you want to do. Okay, this is my name of the image, and dot specifies where is your Docker file. So dot is important here. Docker build -t, then the name of your image. Okay, dot invalid document. Sorry, it has to be small, I guess. So it has to be small. It says, okay. So it created a Docker file. I created a Docker file. I put some commands there, like from Ubuntu run this particular echo command, xyz whatever, and store that content into a file called test file. Okay. Sorry, myfile.txt. So it says while creating a container, it prints logs as well. It says it is running in the form of steps. So first step was from Ubuntu. Okay. And here it is giving you, so it is giving you all the steps. Okay. So see, step number two was run. Okay. So now it is building. So it says successfully built this. So this means my image got built. Let's see, Docker images. So see, I have my Sunday image. Okay, this image got created. Image ID of this is this. Okay, so whatever steps we do, that happens in the form of layers. I told you, right? We have this layered file system in Docker. So everything happens in the form of layers. If you want to install few things here, let's say Git, let's say Nexus, we can write multiple run commands here. Okay, and all these things will happen in layers. Step 1 from Ubuntu, step 2 this, step 3 this, step 4 this. So it is creating intermediate containers in between. Okay, so see what did it do? First step was from Ubuntu. Okay, so it started working on this container 2DC. You see 2DC, this container, this is my Ubuntu. Okay, I did not have to pull it because it was already there in my system. Okay, I did not have to pull it from Docker Hub. It was this image, Ubuntu image was already in my system. So I did from Ubuntu. So it started working on this container. Then I said run echo this particular command. Then it started running in a different container 6C33. It created an intermediate container. Okay, it created intermediate container. Okay, and on that container, it created it ran this command, whatever xyz command was this. Okay, now it removed that intermediate container and it created a final container, a final image. Okay, fde, you see fde16a. So this is the same, this is the image id. Okay, so I have the Sunday image right now. Now I have this image, so now we can run it. Same step, I can run this image. So what is the command to run? Docker run it hyphen name. Let's name it. I'll call it Sunday container. Okay, /bin /bash. What is the error? Docker run invalid reference format. Docker run. What is the error? Sorry, I missed something. Docker name of the container. I have to name the image as well, right? Using which image I'm running, I'm going to run this container. So I missed this. Docker run -it name of my container that I'm going to run, and the image using which I'm going to create this container. Okay, so I ran this and I went inside my container. Okay, see, I am inside my container right now. Okay, now let's see if that file got created or not. So we created that file in here /temp/my file. Okay, let's go to cd/tmp. Okay, I'll do a ls str. You see my file.txt. And what is in my file.txt? I'll do a cat. So this is hello from the container. See, this command got there. This text is inside this file now. Clear? Clear, Shah, Prakash?
Yes.
So
Yes.
this was the way I used a Docker file. Okay, so I just created a Docker file, and using a Docker file, I created an image. Okay, and from that image, I ran a container. That's it. It's easy, right?
Yeah.
So this Docker file will have many things. Okay, Docker file will have many things. It can. I just have given you example of uh, run and from. Okay, these two things, from and run. Okay, so there can be many other terminologies. We'll see some advanced Docker files. So Docker files, you can find it easily wherever you want to do. In on Google, you can find some sample Docker files, or uh, uh, you can find whatever you want. Like, it's easy. It's very easy to write a Docker file. It's very clear with the name also, right? From which image, then run this command. You can declare some environment variables. Okay, so let me show you some more complex Docker file. Okay. Till here, no questions, right? Till here is clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the coming sessions as well today, we'll discuss some more details on the Docker file itself, because Docker file is important. Okay. In your organizations, you will see many Docker files. Okay. All these things, all these Docker files uh, will have whatever uh, you want to do in your container. Okay, so I was thinking I'll tell you one other concept as well. For Docker volume. Okay, let's okay, and let's create a more complex Docker file. Okay, so inside my container, I'll do a exit. I'll just get out of this container. So I'll do Docker ps -a. Oh, sorry, Docker ps. Okay, so all these containers are stopped. Only one container is running. That is my images. I'll stop that as well. Docker images. Sorry, Docker stop this new container. Okay, so we'll stop it. So you can remove images as well. Okay. So the command for it is docker rm. That's it. So the docker images. So I have so many images right now. Okay, let me delete a few images. So command for is docker rmi means docker remove image. Let's say I want to remove this CentOS image. I'll just don't name the image. That's it. Unable to remove repository reference. Must force. It's saying force it. Okay, docker rmi. Let me -f. What was the command? -f. Okay, now it got deleted. So again, I do docker images. Now see, CentOS got deleted. Okay. Clear. So these are very small commands. Okay. Very Docker commands are very easy. You can easily figure out what the command is doing just with the command name itself. Okay, so we created a Docker file. Okay, so let's make it a bit more complex. I'll do a Docker file. So let's add a few things there. Okay, so there is a thing called work directory. Work dir. So it tells you like you can specify any directory there. Okay, whatever you want to do. Like what are the things you are going to do in which directory inside the container you can specify here. Okay, let's say I'm doing whatever I want to do in the temp directory. Okay, so this is my work directory. Okay, then run, we already saw what is run. Okay, other thing is you can write it environment, you can declare environment variables. Okay, env, let's call it my name and space value, let's say Puneet. Okay, so is the name of the environment. Okay, this is environment variable. Okay, it is a key value, kind of key value. So key is my name and value is Puneet. Okay, so this is how you specify environment variables. Okay, and the other thing, let's say you want to copy a file from your local to the container. Okay, so this is a Docker file only. Okay, right now you do not have any image because we create a Docker file and then we have to build it. Okay, after building the Docker file, the image gets created, right? So let's say that I want to copy a file from my local system from my host machine to the container. When the container runs, a file gets copied from my local to there. So there is a command for that, copy. Remember, everything has to be in caps. You see, the color is also changing. These commands are Docker file commands. Okay, from work directory, run, environment, copy. See, these are Docker file commands. Okay, so I can copy a file. Which file I will copy? Okay, let's see. Let's say I'll create just now. I'll create a file called ABC. Not ABC. ABC I've already used. Okay, I'll call it first file. Let's say txt. Okay, this is the file I want. This is a file located in my uh, host machine. Okay, and I want to copy it to temp folder. Let's say. Okay, so this is a copy. Okay, it will copy it. Okay, for that I need to create this first file.txt here. Okay, I'll do a touch first file.txt. Okay, so let's go back to my Docker file again. So what will Docker this will do? This will run a image. It will run a container from my base image. It will go inside the work directory. Okay, and then this will run echo hello from this container from here. Like in the /tmp, it will create a myfile.txt and store this line inside that file. Then env environment variable. This is the way I was telling you how to declare environment variable. Okay, so you can. This is the example I took, but let's say you can place some important variables here. Okay, for example, your database port or any kind of port you want to store or any kind of alias. Okay, any kind of alias you want to create. So you can create here. So whatever environment variable you are creating, this environment variable can be used in your image. Okay, then copy is to copy anything from your local machine to your container. Okay, now other thing, let's see, there is something called add. Okay, what will add do? Add can download the things from the internet. Okay, let's say you want to download something on the internet and store it somewhere on your container. Okay, that's why we use add. Copy will just copy it from your local system. Okay, add can download things from the internet or any remote location, and that will place it on your system. And also add, what can do, add can also unzip the things. Okay, add can also unzip the things. Okay, uh, let's say we have a zip file. Let's say we have a zip file on our local machine. Okay, on our host machine we have a zip file, and we want that when our container is running from that image. So what will happen? The file, the tar file, whatever we have, gets unzipped. Okay, that also we can do using add. So let's do that. Okay, so before that I'll have to create a tar file. Okay, let me create a tar file. You guys are there, right?
Hello, yeah.
Hmm. So mm, let's create a file first. Okay, file name, let's call it mm, touch hello dot txt. Okay, I'll just create a tar of this file. What is the command to create a tar? Tar hyphen cvf, name of the tar, let's say hello.tar. I'll put it hello.tar and name of the file hello.txt. Yeah, so it created a hello.tar, and in this tar file I have hello.txt. Okay, so I can remove this hello.txt now. Rm txt. Yes. Okay, this, so my tar got created, and let's zip it as well. Okay, I'll do a gzip. Hello.tar. Okay, so my this is my zip file which contains a tar, and the tar file contains the hello.txt file. Okay, now what I can do is I can do a, let me copy this, and in that Docker file what I'll do, we'll do add name of the star file, and let's say on the temp folder only I'm doing it. Okay, so let's save it, that's it. Or uh, we can add few more things here. So we copy of from work directory, run environment, copy. Okay, let's save it. That's it. That's it. Okay. Now let's. So our Docker file is ready. Okay. So now let's create an image from the Docker file. So what is the command for creating an image on the Docker file? Docker build -t. Let's call it a new image, or hello image. I'll call it .t. Sorry for using, I should not use this capital, let's make it small. Okay, hello image. Okay, docker build -t hello image and dot. So this will take the Docker file which is there in my present working directory, and will create an image out of it. So see, now I have multiple steps. So my first step was from Ubuntu, and this image was already there. Okay, so it used that image. Then my second step was work directory /temp. So this, all these steps you can see, run echo hello, then uh, environment name, my name Puneet. Okay, now so see, every time it is creating an intermediary container. Okay, and then it is deleting it. After doing that, it is deleting it. Okay, then see, it is doing a copy, and then it is adding a tar. So these are 6 steps that I did uh, in my Docker file. Okay, so using that Docker file, these 6 steps got executed, and my Docker image got ready. Okay, so I can just check Docker images. So you see hello image. So this is my hello image that just got created. Now I can simply run this file. Okay, now I can simply run this image into a container. I'll do docker run -it. Okay, name of my container. Let's call it hello container, because I'm going to run hello image. And name of the image using which I'm going to run this container, then /bin/bash. So let's Looks everything fine. Okay, so let's run it. Yeah, so now I am in my this. See, I'm in my new container. And what I specified in the work directory, I specified /temp, right? So see, that automatically took me to /temp. You see? Clear? Guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm? Okay, so this is my work directory was my second command, right? So now let's see, let's do ls-lstr. You see, here, what was the second thing? I did a copy command. Okay, my copy command was this, right? This is my command, right? Copy first file.txt/temp. Okay, so what did I do? My first file was in my host, right? It was in my host machine, but it got copied to the container now. See, you see, first file.txt.
Okay.
Okay, and what was the second step I do? Okay, see all the steps now. First step fine. It created an image. It created a container from two. Second step, work directory tmp. So it brought me to /tmp by default. Third step, run echo hello from container, and this thing has to be stored in myfile.txt. Okay, so you see there's a myfile.txt got created. If I do cat myfile.txt, so it says hello from container. Okay, so this step was also successful. Coming to this environment, my Puneet, we'll see that. Okay, then you see copy. I did a copy this file. This file was in my local machine, was in my EC2 instance, was in my host
Yeah.
machine. I did a copy, so it copied this file to /tmp folder. Okay, you see, first file.txt got copied to this folder. Okay, now what was the last step? It was saying add. I told you, right? Add we use for first is for downloading. If we have to download anything from remote place or anything from the internet, we use add command. Okay, or add is also used to unzip the files. So you remember I created a hello.txt and I created a tar and I did a zip. So this file dot created hello.tar.zip. Okay, this was on my local machine only. This was not in my inside my container. This was on my local machine at that time. Okay, and I did a add at temp. So it unzipped the file that is inside this. See, you have hello.txt. This was the file I created. Clear?
Yeah.
And also the environment variable which I created. My name Puneet. Okay. So let's see if my name exists or not. Echo dollar my name. See, it says Puneet. Okay.
Yeah.
All the commands clear?
Yeah.
Easy, right?
Yeah.
Docker is easy.
Looks easy now. After the class, we'll be blank.
No, again you have to revise it now.
Practice. Yeah, yeah.
Revising is important because there are so many things. But yeah, if your
Yes.
concepts are getting clear, focus on the concept. So, okay, don't worry about these commands and what are the things we are typing and writing. Don't worry about this. You will get these things a lot in Google. Hundreds of Docker files, more complex Docker files, and this was a simple Docker file. Okay, in your organizations, you will see like these things will be same. Okay, hello, this from, run, etc., etc. These things, copy, add. These commands will be same because these are the things only here. Okay, but
Yeah.
it will be a bit complex. Okay, depending on the use case, it will be a bit complex. But if then you know the concept, what thing is doing, okay, you can easily figure it out. Okay, it will take few seconds for you to get those things. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm, you want to continue today, or let's move it to the next session now? Like on next Saturday, we can do it. The remaining. So there are two things that are pending on Docker: Docker volume and Docker uh, port mapping. Mapping the
Yeah.
ports. Okay, that these two things are pending. Okay, I'll not start these things today,
Okay.
else it will become a bit confusing. Okay, but these things are fine, right? You're comfortable with these things, whatever we discussed?
Yeah.
Now if I do exit, I'm back to my host machine, and so Docker file is created, right? Why do we use a Docker file? And so this is for automation. Docker file is used for automation. You don't have to go inside that container and create this file and create this environment variable manually or unzip this file or whatever. So this helps in automation as well.
Yeah.
So mostly in your organizations, what you will see, you will have there's a project, and every project is having a Docker file. Because usually we do this only,
Mhm.
right? Every application has to be installed in a particular container. Okay, we have a separate container for every application. So every application will have its own Docker file. When you run that Docker file, whatever XYZ dependencies are there for this or application, all these things will be down. You can specify that in the Docker file. What are dependencies that have to be downloaded? Uh, so these will be happening in step by step. We saw, right? We had this six steps. So you can have multiple steps in Docker file. Okay, all these things can
Yeah.
get downloaded, and you can deploy your application there.
Mhm. So I mean, we have to use Docker Hub, right, to use it, or like with
No,
the
you can. No, Docker image will be there. Docker file will be there as a part of your code. Okay, Docker
yeah.
file will be part of your code, application code. Okay, or
Okay.
this is job of DevOps engineer as well. Like DevOps
Yeah.
engineer will create Docker file. He will get to know these things from the developer. Okay, that for running his
Mm,
application, what are the things required? For example, the developer writes an application in, let's say, uh, he creates a war file. Let's say a developer creates a web application. Okay, now it's DevOps person's responsibility to do the deployment, right? So what he will do, he will create a Docker file from Ubuntu base image, let's say. Okay, now on the top of Ubuntu, he'll
mm,
install Java. Then he will install Tomcat. Okay,
mm.
then on Tomcat web server, he will install that war file. Okay, so all these steps have to be written in Docker file only. First run
Yeah.
command would be for installing Java. Second run command would be for installing Tomcat. Third command would be to deploy your web application, whatever web application the user has created. Okay, fourth command can
Yeah.
be exposing this particular port so that this application is running on a container, right? Container is nothing but like a similar to virtual machine. Okay, so you have
Mm.
to expose the
Okay.
port for the people who want to use it. Okay, the fourth command can be for that, for exposing a port. Fifth command can be
Ah,
to copy a file from your local to your container. Sixth command
so
can be
much.
to,
Yeah.
hmm? Hmm?
So much to do, right?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, these are Docker. This everything you can write in the Docker steps. Docker file you can write all the
Mm.
steps.
So how do you like, so okay, when we are doing a project, right? Look, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
DevOps engineer. I'm okay, or if I joined a new organization,
Mm-hmm.
do they provide me all these things, like what they would require me to do, or do I
Yes.
just how
No,
do I
no.
gather these things?
They will ask you to do this. They will ask you to do this. For
Mm-hmm.
example, let's say a deployment thing is going on. There'll be a development
Yeah.
team for sure. There'll be a development team for sure. Now, development team does not know Docker. Okay, let's say they do not know Docker, and
Yeah.
you are the DevOps engineer.
Yeah.
You know Docker. Now they ask you to deploy an application in a container. So
Mm-hmm.
you will create a Docker file. Okay, you will create a Docker file. You will get to know all these details from the developer,
Mm,
that what his application is, what are its
mm.
dependencies, okay, where it has to run. He might write an his code might application that might he might be creating that might require to be running on CentOS, okay, or Ubuntu or any other
Yeah.
distribution. Okay, so you will write in your Docker file to use that particular base image.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so everything, these all details, the port details, which port to expose, you don't know it, right? You will get all these details from
Yeah, I
the,
don't know it. That is
right?
why I'm asking, like
Yeah.
normally, I mean, like in cloud computing, right? There are so many roles, right? There'll be one guy who's doing the architecture solutioning, or
Mm-hmm.
so
Right. These all details you
and
should be you should get it. You will get it from the
uh-huh.
development team, because Docker is what? Docker is for deploying application, right? It is for deployment.
Mm,
So you will get these details from your developer. What are the ports? What is the type of the application? What are the dependencies? Because you as a DevOps engineer will not they will never know what does an application require. Okay, you will get all these
Yeah.
files from
I
developer,
mean,
and then you will create a Docker file.
okay. Will they also provide like what machines we need to, what sort of machine we need to,
Everything they'll
everything?
provide.
So
Everything they'll
our
provide.
just is just go mostly like,
You have to create a Docker file.
okay,
Your job will be to create a Docker file.
okay,
Mhm. Sometimes
yeah,
even the developers write the Docker file. Okay, most of the time, developer will also write a Docker file because they are doing the unit testing as well. Correct. They are also doing the
uh-huh,
unit testing. So most of the time, they will also write it because
mm,
they will do a unit test. So they will create a Docker file and then integrate their like whatever code because they are the best person to know the dependencies on your application, right?
mm,
So they can write the Docker file. Okay, then your job will
okay.
be
So,
deployment.
okay. So how do we share it like with GitHub? Like, I mean, there's Docker Hub as well, right?
Yeah,
So
Docker Hub, I told
like
you, right?
similar,
You can upload this
yeah,
Docker file, not the Docker file.
into the
You can upload this image to your repository
Docker Hub.
to
Okay,
Docker Hub. Okay,
okay.
Docker file is version controlled. That can be a part of code. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
in your normal code repository, your Docker file can be located.
So, but we need to do it, right? I mean, integrate it with GitHub eventually, isn't it? All this.
Yeah. This Docker
Okay.
file is a
Okay.
part of code, right? So code as
Yeah. Yeah.
anyways you are storing in GitHub.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
But the
Okay.
image you will not install in Git. The image you will not store in
Okay.
Git,
Sure.
right? Image you store
Yeah.
in any repository. It may be Nexus, ECR, Docker Hub, or any particular JFrog or any XYZ repository. There are hundreds of repositories available in the market. So it depends on what
Mm,
repository your company is using.
okay.
Clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is interesting, right? Containers are interesting, right?
I mean, yeah. So it's like, in just couple of minutes you can do so many things with
Hmm.
containers.
Right. Containers are pretty good. Now, when we study Kubernetes, you will see things are getting more complex, but the convenience that the people are getting, it's very good.
Yeah.
Like you will have so many Docker images and these things, so everything your Kubernetes can manage.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Okay, now things will get a bit more complex from it. Kubernetes is a bit complex, but it's easy.
Okay.
Complex as in there are many things, but it's easy. If you get the concepts, it's easy,
Yeah.
and it gives you so much
Okay.
flexibility when you are working as a DevOps engineer. It gives you
Mm-hmm.
so many flexibility.
Mm. Yeah, I think I've seen like, Kubernetes, Docker, they have their own certification also, right? So, like
Docker
really.
does not have its own certification, I guess. Kubernetes has it. Okay, Kubernetes has it.
Uh-huh.
So for Kubernetes, you can have will require an engine. Okay, Kubernetes is also
Yeah.
Kubernetes is nothing. It's a orchestration. It is a container management. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because Docker also has a container management thing. You call it Docker Swarm.
Mm-hmm.
Docker Swarm is there is a market similar to Kubernetes that manages all the. So that is the issue with containers, right? You have when you have so many containers in your application, so it's difficult to manage it. So there has to be
Yeah.
something who will manage it, right? So that's why you have Docker Swarm, Kubernetes. Okay, ECS is also ECS is similar to Kubernetes only.
Mm.
Uh, ECS is like more of it's AWS specific.
Yeah.
Okay, then you have EKS. EKS also you have EKS is corresponding to Kubernetes, like uh, managed Kubernetes. You can say cloud will do the most of the things for you. Okay, so these things are almost doing the same thing. Okay, we'll get to know.
Okay.
We'll get to know in the coming
Yeah.
sessions. Okay. Now in the next session we might finish Docker. Okay, Docker might get
Okay.
completed. So there are just two, three things pending there. Okay,
Yeah.
then after that we'll start Kubernetes.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's connect uh, on next Saturday. Okay, just run your containers and just do a bit of practice. Okay, that because these are important. This is important. So even if you don't practice this Nexus and SonarQube, etc., that you will figure
Mm-hmm.
out that those are easy. But containers are important. Like the world is using containers now. The whole world is very containers are very very popular these days. So it's 100% of 100%. It's 100% chance that if you are switching your organization, then their containers are used. Or if you're switching a project, if you're switching any a job in an interview, you'll be asked about containers 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, let's meet next Saturday.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.